Two, one. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to our latest edition of Coping with COVID. If you guys would like to sit down and have a Zoom interview with me, a Zoom business interview with me, just please leave a comment in the comment box below and I will do my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Today, I'm excited to bring on our new guest, someone I'll be very transparent with you guys. I don't know extremely well, but given us creating this video series, I'm thrilled that we can connect and talk about business. So, without further ado, from the Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance, team coordinator Rachel Roberts. Hey, Rachel. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, Jordan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. I didn't actually have to reach out to you. You reached out to me to come on. So I must be doing an okay job, and the chamber must be doing an okay job in regards to outreach. It seems like people are starting to see our videos that we're putting out. So appreciate you reaching out and coming on today.
Absolutely. We're excited to be here.
Heck yeah. So, Rachel, I give everybody the opportunity. You guys have been in the community. We talked 41 years and counting. But please, some folks don't know what you guys are all about. So tell me a little bit about yourself and the Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance.
So the Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance was founded on the Wilson College campus in 1979 by Joyce Donatelli, who was the then professor of exercise and sports science. And it was founded with her and a couple of other coaches. And we were on the college campus until 2005, when we moved about half of our program down to Brim Boulevard in the Chambersburg Trade Technology Center, where we are now. We moved the rest of our business off of the college campus in 2007, when the college expanded the Science Center. In 2018, we actually moved into the front building that we're in now at 91 Brim Boulevard. And we're in about a 12,000 square foot facility. We were kind of bursting out of the seams in the back gym, that we called it. And so we moved into a larger space. The gym now is owned by Dolores White and Mr. Rodney Burge. A lot of people know Mr. Rod because he coached within the program, like 3 generations of people within the program for 37 years. And while he's retired as a coach, he's still an owner at the gym. Myself, this is my 25th season of coaching gymnastics. I'm a native of Portland, Maine, but I came to Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance in 2002 when I was a student at Wilson College. I actually graduated from Wilson College in 2005 with a degree in veterinary medical technology, which is like veterinary nursing. But I've coached for a long time. I actually started the Wilson Panther All-Star competitive cheer program in 2002. And I moved over to being the head team coach for competitive gymnastics in 2007. And that's what I do presently now, is I oversee our competitive team programs and kind of get my hands on everything else that's going on at the gym. So Wilson has recreational programs in gymnastics, cheerleading, tumbling, twirling, and ninja. And we have competitive programs in competitive all-star cheerleading and in competitive women's gymnastics. So we serve kids of all ages.
You guys do it all. How about it? My goodness gracious, that's quite a list of everything you guys do. What age groups do you guys focus on there? What's the primary ages you have going through your gym?
So we actually have a really wide age range. For recreational gymnastics, we actually start at 17 months in a class called the You and Me, which is a parent or adult assisted class that focuses on like developing gross motor skills and really having fun and following cueing instructions and just basic gymnastics. In our recreational classes, the average child goes through about age 14 a recreational class, although sometimes in our tumbling classes, they'll go all the way through 18. In our competitive program, this past season, our youngest competitive cheerleaders were 3, and they were in a developmental or novice program all the way through 18 years of age. And then in competitive gymnastics this year, our girls were age 7 and our oldest is 17.
Wow, that is really neat. I think everybody probably saw my face whenever you said 17 months. That is extremely young, but it's really neat. I mean, you hear stories of successful athletes in today's day and age, and one that comes to mind is Tiger Woods. And I think he had a golf club in his hands probably around that age. And obviously everyone knows how he turned out in regards to his success on the golf course. So it does seem like the sooner you get kids involved with sports and gymnastics and things like that, the more passion they have for it growing up, and maybe the better that they are at it. Out of curiosity, um, what has things looked like for you, Rachel? I mean, from a gymnastics sense, I would assume that, everybody else is doing these Zoom calls and things like that. Is that something you guys are really able to use? And even above and beyond that, in what you do, I imagine traveling here, through this. Travel is a big part of gymnastics and competitive gymnastics. So given this whole COVID-19 virus, I'd assume that's pretty much limited all travel that you're allowed to do. So can you talk on how really this whole COVID virus has affected, cheerleading and what you guys are trying to do to, combat it and be ready to rock and roll for when you are able to open up?
Sure. So, first of all, we ended up closing, like a lot of other businesses did, on March 16th, when the governor's order came down for everybody to close. So for us, that was very much in the middle of our competitive gymnastics and competitive cheerleading seasons. So it, abruptly stopped things. USA Gymnastics first, and then the USASF, which is the governing body for All-Star Cheer, came down and canceled all of their sanctioned events for the rest of the season. So we were actually at kind of the end of our invitational season for gymnastics, and we were about to start state meet season. So for me personally, I was going to be traveling about 10 weekends between the middle of March and the middle of May for those state meets and things. So it really, kind of slowed things down. We were also, personally, we were about 2.5 weeks away from the Handsprings for Hope Invitational, which is about 1,000 athlete invitational gymnastics meet that we host at Chambersburg Area Senior High School every April. It's an invitational meet, so it's an opportunity for gymnasts from all over the state and actually other states. They come from, this particular year, we had kids registered from Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. So these kids were coming all over the place to compete at our meet. It's also a fundraiser that we do with the Central Pennsylvania Ronald McDonald House Charity. So each year we donate a portion of our spectator admission fee. We take monetary donations, and then we donate what are called wish list items, things like toiletries and small food items and things like that. We usually donate about 8,000 items to the Central Pennsylvania Ronald McDonald House. So unfortunately that event was very abruptly canceled, as well as all of the rest of the gymnastics meets and cheerleading competitions for the remainder of the season. We also just made the decision here this week to cancel, unfortunately, our annual show. Our annual show is something that we do for our recreational class kids. It's usually at Camp South. And it's basically an opportunity for all of the recreational kids. They learn routines within their classes, and then they get to perform those routines for their families. And it's a nice opportunity for their families to kind of see what they've been learning, in gymnastics or tumbling or cheer throughout the year. So unfortunately, given everything that's going on, we had to cancel that. Zoom's been a little bit challenging for us. Gymnastics is a pretty equipment intensive sport. If you check out like our Instagram, you'll see that some of our coaches have posted like short workouts and ideas and things that the kids can do. We personally have used Zoom for meetings with our staff, our competitive team parents, and then just last week we met with our competitive athletes. We actually played games and stuff, right? We did conditioning challenges, we played games, we touched base with them to see how they're doing, because it's more than the stop of sport that's happening right now. There's an emotional aspect that goes along with your season being over and things like that, missing your friends within the gym, and the normal kind of, our competitive kids train between 2 and 4 days a week. And some of them train as many as 15 hours a week. So they're really used to like being with their teammates. And so this has been, a change for them. So Zoom's been a little bit of a challenging platform for us. We are definitely looking into whether we can have some of our different instructors offer like strength classes, even something, kind of involving movement, sort of creative movement for younger children. But as of this point, it is something that's been pretty challenging for us, because gymnastics in the traditional sense is pretty challenging to do on a platform, outside of the gym. So what we've been doing instead is trying to utilize this time to figure out what's the best way that we can move forward, when the governor sees that it's good for us to open. Basically, gymnastics facilities are green phase businesses. So as of right now, we don't have that opportunity to open, unless we move into the green phase. So we've been looking at a lot of things. Actually, right before we closed, in trying to address what the CDC was telling us to do then, we had started to have sanitation stations in the gym. We had closed the use of our water fountain. We're doing extra cleaning. We do a lot of cleaning in our facility every single day to begin with, but we were amping that up to make sure we were addressing, the health concerns and stuff. So right now we're just trying to really plan and figure out what is it kind of going to look like moving forward. One thing specific to gymnastics facilities is that Pennsylvania Women's Gymnastics has petitioned the state for the opportunity for gymnastics facilities to open in the yellow phase with all of the restrictions, set forth by the CDC in terms of social distancing. And, spotting is something we do in gymnastics. Coaches, will put their hands on children in order to assist them through skills. It helps with safety and with skill development. So we've been looking for what are ways we can set up stations and drills, and how can we separate the children and have an appropriate flow within the gym so that we're able to follow those guidelines. We want to both be able to get the kids back to sport, which is something they love, and be able to do what's necessary to keep everybody safe and healthy.
Yeah, without a doubt, I know myself in regards to how sports work, and I've made so many friends through sports. So it's really it's sad to see that these kids can't be interacting with one another, doing things right now. But hopefully this is just a few months of that, and hopefully we get back to things sooner rather than later. Out of curiosity, you guys have a rather large gym, so that would hopefully make things maybe a little easier from a social distancing standpoint as well, if I'm correct. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true, Jordan. We've got about a 12,000 square foot facility. And, just considering like just our one larger floor is 54 feet by 42 feet. So, in terms of being able to separate children, 6 feet in all directions, that is something that we could do, on a typical busy Monday or Tuesday night during the school year, around that 6 o'clock hour, we might have as many as 125 kids in the gym. So that is clearly something that we would have to address and change. Our overall instructor to child ratios are already low, but we have many things going on at the gym at the same time. So that's really a consideration. How are we going to have to change the structuring of our classes potentially in order to give everybody the opportunity they want to get in the gym and return to sport, but also to make sure that we're following all of those parameters that are being set out to keep everybody safe and healthy.
Absolutely. So, Rachel, tell me a little bit about the imprint that Wilson College has on your gym in regards to your coaches and things like that. I thought that was pretty neat when we talked about that earlier.
Sure. So Wilson College itself, the only affiliation that we actually have with the college is that we were started on the campus of the college. So we're actually a separate entity from the college. But in terms of the School of Gymnastics and Dance, so while I'm not an athlete that grew up in the WSGD program because I am a native of Portland, Maine, my coworkers, the vast majority of my coworkers, all except a couple, actually grew up within the Wilson program. So some of them were recreational kids. A lot of them were competitive athletes, whether they were competitive cheerleaders or competitive gymnasts, and they've been compelled to come back. They feel strongly about the positive experience they had at Wilson, and so they've come back themselves to continue to coach. So like within the women's competitive gymnastics program, all of my coworkers were athletes at WSGD. Actually, 2 of them were my athletes turned coaches, which is pretty cool. It's a full circle moment. We also take young women from within our program, and we start them kind of in a learning and training process. They start initially sometimes just volunteering and overseeing, in camps and things like that, kind of learning the process of the way that we do things, formulating questions so that they kind of know, what do they think their strengths might be? What do they think another coach's strengths might be? And then we move them into being junior instructors and then eventually full instructors. And something that's pretty common within the sport of gymnastics is that there's kind of that feeder through from your athletes, because these kids, have really, some of them have been in our program. Our oldest athlete right now, she'll be 18 in October on our competitive team. This will be her 13th season. This will be her 2nd season coaching for us. But it's really a full circle moment for a young lady who started in our program at 3 years old, and will graduate having competed, since she was 6 in our program, and now she's an instructor. So we really love when these young women decide that they want to give back to a program that gave a lot to them. So
this is an excellent question, I think, in regards to how you just answered that. But 41st year of being in business. So with that being said, I mean, what is your guys' key to success? How do you guys, keep a business going successfully for 41 years?
So I think that the two keys are probably perseverance and adaptability. It has not always been easy, certainly, to have a successful program for 41 years. This situation with COVID is very unique. We faced other unique situations like the downturn of the market in 2007, which changed things financially for families. We've also really learned to adapt to the wants and needs of our families. Kids have a lot of different activities that they can participate in now. When I started coaching 25 years ago, if a child was really, really into gymnastics and really dedicated to gymnastics, that was kind of all they did. There's actually a lot of evidence that says that kids participating in multiple sports is really, really good for them from an emotional, social, and developmental standpoint. We do encourage our kids to be able to participate in other sports if they want to do that. And so we've changed our program to be able to suit the needs of kids that want to do multiple sports. We, within our recreational program, we have kids that maybe they play soccer in the fall and they come to us in the winter and we see them again, next winter. So we've really tried to be adaptable and really listen to the parents and families within the program in terms of what are they looking for, how do we meet those needs. Very much that's how we started our Ninja Zone program. Our population of boys, we have a lot of boys on the younger side of things in that 17 months to about 5-year age range. But Ninja was a really exciting opportunity. We have boys and girls in Ninja, but we have a lot of boys in Ninja. So it was a really exciting opportunity to offer something different for these, boys within our community. So I think adaptability is probably one of the big things. I think that, we have a lot of friends throughout our region that, whose businesses are struggling. This is not easy for anybody, as an established business with fixed operating expenses like rent and liability insurance and things like that, to have no income coming in for 2 months is extremely challenging. So we're really trying to figure out, what are the things that we can do to move forward in a positive light where we're both working to sustain and continue to grow our successful business and meet the needs and concerns of families. And also, really number one for us is always to keep the children within our program safe and healthy. And so how do we bring these kids back into the gym while still keeping them safe and healthy, and not even just avoiding COVID itself, which is obviously the current hot topic, but, we purpose ourselves all the time to keep our kids safe and healthy. So whether it's COVID or it's flu season or anything else, we're trying really hard to make sure that we're doing the very best thing to honor that, we have these children that we may have them for a small period of time in our program. We may have them for 18 years in our program. And we really honor we try to honor the fact that these parents are giving us the opportunity to have, a meaningful impact on their children's lives, whether it's for a small period of time or a long period of time. So part of that is our commitment to keeping them safe and healthy in the gym.
Well, Rachel, what a great interview. I certainly see your passion, and if I had kids, I would certainly trust you with them. It seems like you guys, it seems like you guys do really, really, you do a great job there at the Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance. So hope you guys can continue that and get back open here sooner rather than later. I wanted to give you the opportunity to obviously share your contact information. And if I missed anything and there's anything else you'd like to say, please, now's your opportunity, Rachel.
I just wanted to say thank you, for the opportunity. I was really excited to get the opportunity to come out and talk to you. We really, having been involved in the community for as long as we have, we're really looking for Chambersburg and the greater Chambersburg area to really rebound and be strong, and hopefully really united from this experience. We recognize that this is something that's not just challenging, for us personally. I mean, I know for me, unemployment for 2 months, I have 3 children. It's not exciting, right? This is hard stuff. But I know that I'm not in a unique position. And we know that the Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance is not in a unique position either. And we hope that as a community that we can really work together to help the people, within our community, so that everybody rebounds and is stronger from this, in the end. So Wilson School of Gymnastics and Dance, we're located at 91 Brim Boulevard. You and I talked about earlier, Hickory Ridge Restaurant. We're right next to Hickory Ridge. We love them. Yeah, their food is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yes.
So we're in the Chambersburg Trade Technology Center. Our website is www.wsgd.net. You can also email us at tumble@wsgd.net. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We love to hear from people. We are still registering for summer with the hope that we're certainly open for summer classes and camps. But if people want to email us or they want to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, we would love to hear from them, and we'd love the opportunity to work with their kids.
Rachel, fantastic. Seriously, it's been a pleasure getting to meet you. I hope to see you at some chamber functions here whenever we can finally start mingling around one another again. And then we also have some virtual stuff coming on. So if you're ever interested in coming on, just get in contact with me and I can send you obviously the registration information and all that. But yeah, really good talking to you, and appreciate you giving your contact information and everything. Hopefully you get some people giving you a ring after they see this interview. And again, look forward to catching up after all this COVID-related stuff's done and over with, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jordan. It was great to talk with you.
Yep. All right, Rachel. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you again soon, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.